All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are jumping right into the deep end with the ultimate dilemma for literally any founder. We're pulling insights directly from the Revenue Ronin's Tactical Tuesday session to unpack a heavyweight matchup: bootstrapped builders versus venture capital. If you're building a business right now, this is the foundational choice that's going to dictate absolutely everything. So, where do you want your company to be in 5 to 10 years? It seems like a pretty simple question, right? But it's actually the anchor of Kaveh's success pyramid rule. You absolutely must firmly identify your end goal before you even think about picking a capital strategy. You have to start with the end in mind, knowing exactly what stage you're aiming for before you start pouring fuel on the fire. Okay, let's dive into this because this right here is the core tension every builder faces. Are you willing to pay for your growth with your time or with your equity? Bootstrapping secures your grip on the steering wheel, while venture capital straps an absolute rocket to your operations. But, neither of them comes for free. Section 1, the core capital choice. Now, to frame this decision properly, we aren't here to pick a universally better side, because honestly, there isn't one. It's entirely about aligning your capital with your current business stage. Every stage of growth demands a totally different type of capital. We can beautifully juxtapose the two paths right here. On one side, you've got bootstrapping. This means you keep 100% ownership, retain total control, and grow at a sustainable pace. On the flip side, venture capital pushes for rapid, massive expansion. And why the aggressive push? Because VC investors are mathematically underwriting a 100x payout. They don't just want a nice, profitable business, they need a massive exit. Let's see how this builds into a more nuanced reality. Because what we actually have is the bootstrap to VC spectrum. This is Kaveh's brilliant 1 to 10 framework. Funding is almost never just a simple binary choice. If 1 is pure, hard mode bootstrapping and 10 is taking on full institutional venture capital, well, things like angel investing or micro VC funding sit right there in the middle. The real skill as a founder is knowing exactly where you are on this spectrum and negotiating from a position of true leverage. I mean, when you know you only need a level 4 injection of capital, you stop giving up level 10 amounts of equity.
Section 2, governance versus economics.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that when you raise money, you're actually having two completely separate negotiations at the exact same time. The money you receive is the economics. The control you give up is the governance. Notice that specific number right there, $75,000. In the early stages of a business, angel checks that stay under this amount rarely come with restrictive board seats. It's a threshold where you can secure vital economics without surrendering heavy governance. But contrast that with $500,000 and above. The moment you cross into this $500,000 plus financial territory, the entire game changes. Investors at this level aren't just handing over cash. They're going to demand rigorous auditing, strict operational oversight, and a permanent voting seat at your table. The governance cost rises sharply. To anchor this theory in the real world, let's take a look at Lady Rocket's incredible timeline. Back in 1998, her first VC check was for $500,000, which, if you adjust for inflation, is roughly a $5 million check today. Fast forward to the present day, and she's in the process of raising an incredible $10 million for Copernic Space. This beautifully illustrates a foundational rule. Venture capitalists consistently invest in massive scalability. They are funding the sheer size of the opportunity, not just your current profitability. Section 3, the poker table analogy. To make the abstract concept of venture capital visceral, community member Timo introduced this brilliant metaphor comparing high-stakes poker to raising a seed round. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how similar they are. In poker staking, you rely on other people's money. You operate on steep splits, like 50-50 or 70-30, and you carry a massive psychological toll due to variance. Similarly, venture capital also relies entirely on other people's money. It comes with massive board accountability and faces high-risk growth variance. The mechanics and the pressure are incredibly similar. Section 4, bootstrapping is resourcefulness. Now, these community wins aren't just theory being discussed in a vacuum. These are actionable, real-world tactics that founders are deploying right now to maintain control of their companies while still driving aggressive growth. We really need to stop equating bootstrapping with poverty. As Christelle points out, it is pure, unadulterated resourcefulness and a powerful strategy all on its own. Every single founder starts with intellectual capital, your raw skills, knowledge, and personal effort. Managing risk at this stage is all about daily discipline. Christelle shared an amazing strategy leveraging PayPal's 5% cashback program just to stretch working capital. And Justin acquired a local meetup group for just $30, which immediately yielded a 5x return with 4 paid signups for an AI mastermind before the event even happened. Like, no way, right? But that is exactly how early stage bootstrapping actually thrives. Section 5, Sales Solves Everything. Look, whether you are meticulously bootstrapping or heavily venture-backed, the ultimate equalizer is that high-margin sales are the lifeblood of your business, and they solve far more problems than funding ever does. This is all driven by the 3-pillar revenue engine. Step 1 is discipline, Step 2 is data, and Step 3 is results. So the crucial point is that landing just 2 more high-ticket clients at $5,000 a month closes your funding gap way faster and way more sustainably than shopping around any polished pitch deck. We have to visually separate top-line vanity metrics from your actual bottom-line health. Your goal should be a 40% target net profit margin against your overhead and cost of goods sold. Listen, $50,000 a month in revenue means absolutely nothing if you are only netting $2,000. You just cannot scale a broken margin, no matter who is funding you. Which brings us to this incredibly powerful quote from the session. Revenue without margin is a trap. I really want to drive this home as the ultimate warning for builders on both sides of the capital spectrum. If you chase revenue just for the sake of top-line growth and completely ignore your margins, you are building a house of cards. So as we bring this explainer to a close, I want to leave you with a final provocative question to reflect on. Are you building for control or are you building for scale? You need to take a hard look at your 5 to 10-year goals before you make your next structural move. Know your stage, hit your metrics, and build the exact future you want. Thanks so much for learning with me today.